Okay, great. Hola, hi. So I got a little bit thrown off because there were people very close by that were walking by, and then I got kind of so distracted that I decided to stop and start again. Let's do it again. Why not? So I was talking about that we have sometimes a kind of pressure we inside of ourselves we aren't aware of, and that's a very different pressure to having a deadline to adhere to, which can be helpful to get us moving. But the kind of pressure I'm talking about right now is more the inside pressure that's often driven by our part that wants to have everything very perfect and having very high standards, doing the best painting or doing the best work or whatsoever, and everything starts feeling tedious. Or it also can come to the point where we have all these great ideas or all these started projects that never go anywhere because we just think it's gotten too difficult and we don't know which ones to even drive forwards. And we get into this, rabbit in the headlight and being stuck and not knowing how to move forward anymore. I am sure you're not acquainted to this. Well, I am. And I was just joking around. I think most of us know this. But I think what this internal pressure, this kind of, I haven't made it yet, I'm getting older, I need to make it now, could be one side of it. What I said before with the perfect work we have to put out there. I think that's so, insidious that it's even hard to catch. We might even only be aware that we are stuck somehow, and that things are not moving forward, or that we are not enjoying ourselves even anymore to create, and that the heart of the creation has gone out of it, or we have the feeling we want to be more free in expressing ourselves, but it's just not happening. It can go so far that we even don't believe it's possible for us to get into this more freer, creative, rebel energy, even though we might have done it in the past. And I think the very, very first step of anything is to acknowledge with honesty and compassion at the same time where we are at. What's really going on? Do we have one part that's pulling in one direction and the other part that's pulling in the other direction, and we somehow am not finding a way to negotiate? If we don't acknowledge where we are, we don't have a choice, and we are just run by these inner pressures, perfectionism, self-doubt without even noticing. And I think this is where I come in as a coach, because what I do is bring a little bit light into the darkness, or making the things that are invisible to you a little bit more visible, but being kind at the same time. And I think we basically don't have a choice if we don't know what's going on. So that's finding the courage to bring some honesty to what's really going on. And then also looking at, do I actually believe that I can't change this? Do I believe that I will be always run by this high expectations and there's no other way to do this? And so if you believe this, there's nowhere to go, to be honest. So if that's the case, we need to acknowledge that too, and then see whether we can find ways to prove that there might be another belief that might be as well true if we look for it, like that we can have the perfectionist step a little bit more back. And yes, that we can deal with unforeseen situations like passengers that pass by in cars, and that we can do it. That we can actually connect back with ourselves and find ways to create freely what wants to be expressed. And I would say, so what I believe in when I'm coaching is I go in with no expectations and I let go of the expectations I'm having while I'm coaching, which is improvisation in a way, because it allows me to really see what's going on in the moment and what's needed in that moment in the session we are having versus what I think is supposed to happen. So that's where it is in action. So if you do feel stuck at the moment and maybe overtaken by perfectionism, self-doubt, then, take a session with me. I have still slots available and I would love to hear from you. This is Anja, Creative Rebel. Create freely and come alive. That's it. I'm gonna go and listen to the frogs now. Bye-bye.